Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to the course of ME 212 after midterm exam. And from now onward we will have online lectures due to the current pandemic issue. This is lecture 25 and we will start chapter 16 after midterm exam. Let's have a quick review of the pre-med course. Before med we have studied 4 chapters including chapter 12, 13, 14 and 15. Chapter 12 was related to kinematics of particle, which is to study the geometric aspect of the motion. That is to study displacement, velocity and acceleration. Chapter 13 was related to kinetics of particle. That is to study the agent that caused the motion. And the agent was force and acceleration. Similarly, chapter 14 and 15 was also related to kinetics of particle. And the agent that we study was work and energy and impulse and momentum. As can be seen that chapter 12, 13, 14 and 15 all was related to kinetics and kinematics of particles. From now onward we will study the kinetics and kinematics of rigid body. So today's lecture objective is to start chapter 16, which is the planar kinematics of rigid body. That is to study the geometric aspect of the rigid body, to study the displacement, acceleration and velocity for the rigid body. The application of the planar kinematics of the rigid body can be seen in the gears, pulleys and cam mechanism. As can be seen in this figure that the gears, pulleys and the cams which rotate about the fixed axis are often used in machinery to generate the motion and transmit forces. So the angular motion for these components must be understood to properly design the system. So how can we relate the angular motion of the contracting bodies that are rotating about the different axes? So after the completion of chapter 16, you will be able to answer this thing. Similarly, in this figure, the passenger on this amusement ride are subjected to curvilinear motion. Since this vehicle is rotating in a curvilinear motion, but the vehicle always remain upright. If the angular motion for these rotating arms is known, how can we determine the velocity and acceleration experienced by the passenger? Does each passenger feel the same acceleration? So after the completion of chapter 16, you will be able to answer this thing. The outline of this chapter include rigid body motion, translation motion, rotation about fixed axis, absolute motion analysis, relative motion analysis, instantaneous center of zero velocity, relative motion analysis using the acceleration, and relative motion analysis using rotating axis. However, today's lecture is focused on rigid body motion and translation motion. So in today's lecture, we will study the rigid body motion and translation motion in detail. Now to study the planar rigid body motion in detail. So first we have to understand what is the planar motion. Consider the coordinate axis, x-axis, y-axis and the z-axis. So this one is the xy plane, this is the yz plane and this is the xz plane. So the planar motion is the motion that occurs in one plane, either in the xy plane or yz plane or zx plane. Consider the initial location of any rigid body is this one, which is at time t equal to 0. So after some time this rigid body move from this state to this state. So the new location of the rigid body at time t equal to t1 is this one. So as can be seen that this motion is along the one plane, which is the xy plane. So such type of motion is called planar motion. Now what is the rigid body? First we have to understand what is the body. Consider that this is the any object, irregular shape object. So this object or body contain multiple number of particles. So the rigid body is that body on which any external agent or force or which include impulse, momentum, force act on that body. As a result of that agent that cause the motion of that body, the deformation of the rigid body is equal to 0. Or in other words, for the rigid body the strain is 0. Such type of body is called rigid body. So planar rigid body motion mean to analyze the motion of the rigid body in one plane. So there are three types of rigid body planar motion. First one is the translation motion, second is the rotation about fixed axis, and third is the general planar motion. We will study the translation, rotation about fixed axis and general planar motion in details in coming slide. Now the first type of the planar rigid body motion is the translation motion. So again translation motion has two types. First one is the rectilinear translation motion and the second one is the curvilinear translation motion. Now what is the rectilinear translation motion of the rigid body? So in the rectilinear translation motion, the rigid body move along the straight path. while in the curvilinear translation motion, the rigid body move along the curved path. Let us say that the particles on that rigid body is particle A and particle B. So the particle A and particle B, this is the initial location of the particles. This is at time t equal to 0. So after some time, this rigid body moved to the new location, which is at time t equal to t1. So the new location of the particle is A prime and B prime. A prime and B prime is the new location of the particles. So in the rectilinear translation motion, the rigid body move along the straight path. So consider that the line joining particle A and particle B, let us say that its length is S1. And the line joining A prime B prime, let us say that its length is S2. For the rectilinear translation motion of the rigid body, this S1 has to be equal to S2. Similarly, the line joining particle A prime, let us say that length is L1. And the line joining particle B prime, let us say that length is L2. So for the rectilinear translation motion of the rigid body, this SL1 has to be parallel to L2 also. This L1 has to be equal to L2 for the rectilinear translation motion. What does this mean? This means that when the rigid body move along the straight path in a translation motion, each and every particle on that rigid body does not change its location during the motion. Its location remains same during the motion. Then such type of a motion is called rectilinear translation motion. Now with the curvilinear translation motion, the body translate in a curved path. Let us say that the position of the particles before and after motion is, let us say that before motion that location is A and B. Now after the motion, the location of the particle is A prime and B prime. So again the line joining AB, let us say that length is S3. And the line joining A prime B prime, let us say that length is S4. So for the curvilinear translation motion of the rigid body, this S3 has to be equal to S4. Similarly, the line joining A prime, let us say that length is L3. And the line joining B prime, let us say that length is L4. So for the curvilinear translation motion of the rigid body, this L3 has to be parallel to L4 and also L3 has to be equal to L4. So this is the condition for the curvilinear translation motion. So again for the curvilinear translation motion, it is clear that during the motion the location of the particles on the rigid body does not change. As the body is rigid body, so before and after motion the position of the particle remains same. The example of the rectilinear translation motion is a rocket test sled. So as this rocket test sled move along the straight path in a rectilinear motion, and we can consider the rocket test sled as a rigid body, so it is the example of the rectilinear translation motion, as the rocket test sled move along the straight path, and we can consider the rocket test sled as a rigid body. The example of the curvilinear translation motion is the parallel link swinging plate. As this plate is connected to this fixed spot using the links, and as these links are rotate in a curvilinear motion about that fixed spot. So this plate, as a result of this motion of these links, also rotate in a circular motion around that fixed spot. So the parallel link swinging plate can be the example of the curvilinear motion, and we can consider this parallel link swinging plate as a rigid body. So during the motion of the rocket test sled as well as the parallel link swinging plate, each and every particle on that rigid bodies does not change its location. The location of the particles remain fixed. So this is all about the translation motion. Now the second type of the planar rigid body motion is rotation about fixed axis. So when the rigid body rotate about an axis, all the particles on the body except those particles which are on the axis of rotation move around the circular path around that axis. Let us discuss this thing in detail. Consider that this is the rigid body and this is the axis that pass through the rigid body. So this rigid body has to rotate about that axis with an angular velocity omega. So when the rigid body rotate about this axis with an angular velocity omega, then what will happen to the particles on that rigid body? As this rigid body contain multiple particles. So when the rigid body rotate about an axis with an angular velocity omega, so how the particles on that rigid body respond to that motion? We have to think about this. As before made, we have studied this thing in detail, that particles only translate. For particles, rotation equal to 0. This means that when the rigid body rotate about an axis with an angular velocity omega, the particles has to translate, as the particle does not rotate. And why the particle does not rotate? Because the size of the particles are negligible. So the only constraint on the particle is to translate. For rotation, the rotation for the particle is 0. Consider that this is the particle. Let us say that it is the particle P. So when the rigid body rotates about an axis with an angular velocity omega, this particle has to travel in a circular path around that axis. It has to follow some circular path. In a curvilinear motion, this particle has to travel about this axis. Consider another particle. Let us say that this particle is P prime. So this particle also has to travel around that axis with an angular velocity, and the velocity on that particle is tangent to the path, and this particle does not rotate, it only translates. So each and every particle on that rigid body has to translate except those particles which are on the axis of rotation. As for that particles, the radius is 0. So these particles does not rotate or translate. All other particles translate about an axis. So the example of rotation about fixed axis can be the compound pendulum. So as can be seen here, that let us say that this is the origin O, this point is the origin O. So consider that there is an axis which is coming out from the slide. So this compound pendulum has to travel around that axis with an angular velocity omega. So as the compound pendulum contains number of the particles, so each and every particle on that compound pendulum has to travel in a circular path around that axis. This is all about the rotation about fixed axis. The third type of the planar rigid body motion is general planar motion. The general planar motion for the rigid body is the combination of translation as well as the rotation motion. As can be seen in this figure, that this body translate as well as rotate. To discuss this thing in detail, consider the rigid body. Let us say that this is the rigid body and this location is at time t equal to 0 when this rigid body is at rest. So after some time, this rigid body move from this place to this place, and this rigid body only translate and move either in the straight path or in the curved path. This body move from this place to this place, which is at time t equal to t1. So after the translation, let us say that this is the axis coming out from the board. So this rigid body after some time t1 rotate about this axis, and the new location for this rigid body become this one. So this type of a motion is called general planar motion, which include translation as well as the rotation. So most of the mechanism in real life contain the general planar motion. It has translation as well as the rotation motion. Now to study the translation motion in detail. As we are studying the planar kinematics of rigid body. Kinematics is the geometrical aspect of the motion. That is to study the displacement, velocity and acceleration. So first thing is the displacement. So to study the displacement for the planar motion of the rigid body, planar translation motion of the rigid body, consider that this is the rigid body. And this is the initial state of the rigid body, and the state is, let us say that the state is state 1, which is at time t equal to 0. Consider the fixed axis is coordinate system is x and y, and this is the fixed origin. So as the rigid body contain number of the particles, let us say that the two particles on that rigid body is particle B and particle A. So after some time, this rigid body translates from this location to the new location. Let us say that this is the new location of this rigid body, and the particle on that rigid body is particle B and particle A. As for the rigid body, the location of the particles does not change, as we discussed in the previous slide. So what will be the position of particle B with respect to the origin, and what will be the position of particle A with respect to the origin? So we have to draw the position vector to show the position of the particle with respect to the fixed origin. Let us say that this position vector is RB vector. Now to show the position of the particle A with respect to the origin, we have to draw the position vector again. Let us say that this is the position vector and this position vector is RA vector. Now what will be the position of the particle B with respect to the particle A, or particle A position with respect to the B? That is particle B position with respect to A or particle A position with respect to B. As we discussed this thing in the relative motion analysis, that this one is your object and this is observer. So when we talk B with respect to A, this means that the object is B and observer is A. And when we talk A with respect to B, this means that the object is A and observer is B. Let us constrain ourselves to B with respect to A. And this means that the object is B and observer is A. Also in the relative motion analysis before we discussed this thing in detail that on the observer, for the relative motion analysis, we have to draw the translating axis. Let us say that the translating axis on the observer is X prime and Y prime. A is the observer, for B with respect to A is A. So these translating axis move along with the observer. So the new location of X prime and Y prime will be this one. So to show the position of B with respect to A, we have to draw the position vector. And this position vector has to be start from the observer and in toward object. That is the head of this position vector should point toward the object and his tail start from the observer. And let us say that this vector is R B with respect to A. Now according to head to tail rule, R A vector plus R B with respect to A vector equal to R B vector. Now this is the position of the particle A with respect to the fixed origin. R B with respect to A is the position of the particle A with respect to B. That is the position of the particle B with respect to the translating axis. And RB is the position of the particle B with respect to the fixed origin. So this is the displacement for the particles with respect to the fixed origin and with respect to the translating axis. And this is the displacement equation for the translating motion of the rigid body. In the previous slide, the displacement equation derived for the translating motion of the rigid body was RA plus RB with respect to A equal to RB vector. Now what will be the velocity for the rigid body planar translating motion? Velocity will be the time derivative of displacement. So by taking the time derivative of this equation, RA vector plus d by dt of RB with respect to A vector equal to d by dt of RB vector. So as the position, as can be seen in this figure, that the position of the particle A with respect to the fixed origin is shown by RA vector. So the time derivative of this RA vector will be the absolute velocity. Absolute velocity, because it is measured with respect to the fixed origin. Similarly, RB is also measured with respect to the fixed origin. This means that this term is also showing the absolute velocity. But RB with respect to A is measured with respect to the translating axis. This means that it is showing us the relative velocity, not the absolute velocity. As we discussed this thing in detail before, made that the term position which is measured with respect to the fixed origin, it shows us the absolute terms. And the position or velocity or acceleration that is measured with respect to the translating axis, it shows us the relative terms. That displacement, that velocity and that acceleration will be the relative velocity, relative displacement and relative acceleration. So we can simply write the absolute velocity as VA plus d by dt of RB with respect to A equal to VB, as VA and VB are the absolute velocities. Now what will be the relative velocity of B with respect to A? As for the rigid body, the position of the particle B and particle A before and after motion does not change. This means that the position of particle A and particle B are fixed. The time derivative of the position vector RB with respect to A is then 0. And this is also true that as RB with respect to A, the rate of change of RB with respect to A is showing us the relative velocity. This means that the velocity of B with respect to A. So consider that this rigid body is moving with a velocity of 5 meter per second. This means that each and every particle on this rigid body has to move with a velocity of 5 meter per second. It is not possible that one of the particle on that rigid body move with a velocity of 2 meter per second and another particle on that rigid body move with a velocity of 3 meter per second. Each and every particle has to move with the same velocity. This means that the relative velocity of one particle with the other particle become 0. Then this term become, relative velocity term become 0. So finally, the velocity of the particle A become equal to the velocity of particle B. And this is also true that each and every particle on this rigid body has to travel with the same velocity. And this is all about the velocity for the translating motion of the rigid body in single plane. As we are studying the planar kinematics of rigid body. So the planar kinematics means to study the displacement, velocity and acceleration. In the previous slides, we have derived the equation for the displacement as well as for the velocity. And the velocity equation that we derived was velocity of the particle A on the rigid body become equal to the velocity of particle B. Now what will be the acceleration for these particles? Acceleration is simply the time derivative of the velocity. So by taking the time derivative of the velocity, the acceleration of the particle A become equal to the acceleration of the particle B. This means that each and every particle on that rigid body has the same velocity as well as same acceleration. And as a result, the kinematics of the particle motion that we discussed in chapter 12 can also be used to specify the kinematics of the points locating in a translating rigid body motion. So this is all about the translating rigid body motion in a single plane. The velocity, the acceleration and the displacement equation we derived in today's lecture. Now what will be the outcome for this lecture? After the completion of this lecture, you will be able to answer what is kinematics, what is rigid body, what is a body fixed coordinate system, when is a rigid body said to be in translation, why relative velocity becomes 0 in translation motion of rigid body. And you have to answer all these questions in the coming interactive session. So I can randomly ask these questions from any one of you and you have to answer these questions to me. So this is all about the today lecture. In the coming lecture, I will discuss the rotation about fixed axis and the general planar motion. Thank you.